Before BioWare created their own side adventure universe via Mass Effect, they had Star Wars via Knights of the Old Republic. It launched on July 15, 2003 for the original Xbox and later that fall for PC. At the time this released, I had a PS2 and that was it, so suffice it to say, I never played it. This came out during a time where I was hugely into Star Wars. Whether you think they're bad or not, the movie prequels reignited a lot of projects into popular media, and of course, hype. Video games, of course, were one of those avenues. Long story short, after years of pining for this game, I finally dove in when it released as a backwards compatible title on Xbox One October 24th, 2017, aka last year. The results were surprising. First of all, the story takes place 4,000 years before the events set in motion with the film series. Sith and Jedi are at the height of their powers. The character you create is aboard a ship, which is then attacked by the Sith. Later on, you uncover that you have the potential to be a Jedi, and you and your companions tasked by the Jedi Order are out to stop the Sith from destroying the universe. Something to that general effect at least. Battles are MMO-like in structure. You run around environments interacting with NPCs, chests, doors, terminals, and so forth. And once you encounter an enemy, characters will automatically start fighting. You can choose to activate a skill or use an item too, but everything is pretty streamlined, which is fine for me. You can take control of any of the other two party members in your squad, which may be useful not just for battle, but outside to interact with stuff like doors. Leveling, along with stats, are very D&D inspired, which is to say the game is based on the D20 system. When you do level up, you can allocate points into stats like dexterity and even gain new feats. You've seen it a million times before, but it works well here for Star Wars. At first, the game is rather linear until you get to the Jedi Council, wherein you're given a choice of planets to explore in order to expand your knowledge on where the Sith might be hiding. In each hub planet, there are side quests, all of which are actually handled well since there aren't that many of them. A great modern comparison is The Witcher 3. That is to say, there's not a lot of mindless side quests like collecting something ordinary without much context. And as you can imagine, since this is Star Wars, the races and locales are all wondrously diverse, or as good as the Xbox could provide at the time. There are a lot of repeated character models, for example. The thing that was most surprising about the game was the writing. Even though the story may be a bit cliche, every character you meet is voiced, sometimes in other languages. Your companions are just what you'd expect from a BioWare game, each with their own special lovable traits and endearing backstories. I couldn't believe how relevant everything felt, especially on Xbox One. Now, it's not a looker by any stretch, but the load times are lightning fast, plus the visuals have at least been smoothed over, again thanks to the Xbox One update. After all this time, I'm glad the game didn't disappoint. For $10, it's a must-play. If you were disappointed by Mass Effect Andromeda and crave more BioWare before Anthem drops, then again, I highly recommend you check this out. Now, since this is a retrospective and the game's 15th anniversary, I suppose I should get into the legacy a bit. So, just over a year later, Knights of the Old Republic 2, The Sith Lords, released on December 6, 2004 for the Xbox, and a couple months later for PC in February. Unlike the original, this was developed by Obsidian Entertainment, which explains how this came out so quickly after the first. Despite critical reception and sales to both games, the series was dormant for 7 years before BioWare released Star Wars The Old Republic on December 20th, 2011. This was a MMO for PCs. From there, the trail goes cold. The MMO has had 6 expansions so far, with that last one being released in 2016. It remains a PC exclusive, not even compatible with Mac or Linux systems. It's quite strange. So where does the series go from here? Well, if I were a betting man, I'd say nowhere. 7 years of expansions and not a single port to any other system is just odd. I think it's pretty clear the MMO will be the franchise's last stand. Either way, again, I cannot recommend picking up the first one on Xbox One enough. It remains one of Microsoft's best console exclusives. My name is Tristan, and you've been watching ReActionExaminer, wherein I do my best to create interesting videos to entertain and educate you fine folks. Be sure to subscribe, that helped me out a lot. And if you want to check out more, be sure to read my work over on The Gamer, wherein I write fun little listicles. You can also drop by my personal website, GameJerk, wherein I post other articles and reviews. All these links and more can be found in the description below. Thanks, and see you all next time.